So today, you've seen a lot of exquisite examples of where 2011 has developed this blossoming picture of our ecosystem, how we need to be thinking about, thanks to what we've talked about, planning for our brand and marketing platforms. But now I'm going to sort of veer off into a slightly different direction, more from an area that is very close to my heart, and that would be retail, where I think retail has always reached out and been a very aggressive niche in the overall IT industry, looking at new ways to attract and engage their customers. So I think that that's going to be something that we want to look at this past year and see some exciting examples of what they've done, sort of to break the ground for all of the others who want to follow. So there you are. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ivmark. I'm a design director here at Creuna, responsible for all of our fantastic designers, but also privileged to work with a few of our clients. But I'm going to start off with one of my favorite quotes by Wayne Gretzky. I skate to where the puck is going to be, not where it has been. And I think this is a really simple example of what it's like when we're trying to develop trend spawning on and insights for our clients. It's so important for us to look ahead of the curve and just look just 1 year out, 2 years out. It's going to be a completely different landscape because things are moving so quickly. So we're running on the hunch that most of you are here today to sort of seek some of these key insights for planning on your next year ahead. But let's first start, we've talked a lot about the industry trends. I just want to really nail home one specific concept, and that's that the digital shift that we're in today is really creating even a greater and greater gap between services that are on the cusp of groundbreaking and innovation and ingenuity, and those who are sitting on the sidelines watching and waiting to participate. So the thing that is interesting is that the ones who are actually sitting on the sidelines may not even know that they are sitting on the sidelines. They might think that they actually are participating in this big movement. Because the rate at which distributed services are being adopted right now is unparalleled to anything we've ever seen before in our branch. So that's something that we really need to take into account. And just a simple recap, some of the stats and figures we've been talking about today. This one is one that really got to me. Gartner just released that they discovered that smartphone sales worldwide to end users reached 115 million units sold now in November 2011, up 42% this time last year. 42% worldwide increase of adoption. That's pretty nuts. It's unlike anything we've seen before. And a great visual I have that's a little bit dated, but it certainly demonstrates the picture. Apple earlier this year released this chart where it shows the iPod adoption over 3 quarters, how the iPhone was adopted over 3 quarters, and the iPad. I mean, this isn't just a shift, this is a monumental gap in terms of where things used to be and where things are headed now. And this is just the first iPad, so I can't wait to see the iPad 2 stats. So I know most of you are thinking, yeah, well, mobile's changing everything, but what I want us to also remember is it's not just mobile, it's not just being free and free-spirited coffee shop, being able to pay for your coffee. It's what's actually under the hood. We need to just step back a little bit and go geeky and actually look at, this is NVIDIA's roadmap for their Tegra superhero processor line. So last year they released the Tegra 2. It wasn't even a dual-core processor. This is in most handsets, especially in Asia. Then this year, they released something that was 5 times more powerful, the Cal-L, that's also called the Tegra 3. But next year, they plan on releasing something that's 10 times more powerful, and then the year after that, maybe 50 times more powerful, and the year after that, almost 100 times more powerful than what we saw last year. And that's only 3 years out. So I don't know about you, but I can't even compute how that's going to affect what I'm doing with my phone in a couple years. So it's something to just keep pondering. But the thing is that what we have right now is that we don't need superheroes. We have so much in front of us in terms of techniques and tools and capabilities and platforms and networks. We have more than we know what to work with at any given point. So for example, right now, we can be utilizing sensors, accessories, user history, contacts, time, again, mentioned earlier, open APIs. HTML5 is going to be tapping into the hardware quicker than we think. I mean, the possibilities are, in fact, endless. So what I want you to just remember before we go into some movie time is that devices are becoming so powerful that ideas are no longer limited by technology. This is just a complete truth statement. There's no limits to what your ideas can do. So the alternatives and possibilities make it a fantastic opportunity, but at the same time, it means that that idea that you have has got to have a crystal clear strategy when you're going to market. We've never needed our strategic plan more than ever before to connect the whole ecosystem and bring together the customers to the value proposition. But enough of the facts and statistics. We're now going to cut into a few real-world examples. But first, I just want to remind us back to the day when we had ideas where the technology wasn't there. So for example, in Minority Report, the mall scene where he's walking down and his eyeballs getting scanned was something of a completely inspiring, creepy factor kind of feeling. The fact that the lack of privacy while you're walking down by Amex storefront being targeted and marketed was extremely creepy, that marketing was so horridly blatant and shameless, but at the same time, the fact that there was this individual recognition was also pretty cool. So I just want to remind us to what that felt like before. And I think, can we dim the lights?
A road diverges in the desert. Plexus. The road you're on, John Anderton, is the one less traveled. Make sure you fall on
Good evening. You can move the old-fashioned John Anderton. 21 styles provides gourmet cuisine. John Anderton. You can use a Guinness right about now. Stressed out, John Anderton.
Get away, John Anderton.
So again, I don't know about you. Oh, the volume a little too high. So I don't know about you, but hopefully eyeball scanning isn't in the short-term plan at NVIDIA or something. But going into actual real-world examples, a lot of you we've talked a lot about AR this year. I don't know if it's a new concept for everybody, but I want to show some of the examples, the best-case examples we picked up for this year. Here's Starbucks. So compared with the Minority Report idea, you see we've sort of toned down the tonality, so it's more about animating inanimate objects and bringing them to life rather than going into your pocket at the storefront. But I think it's a great example of getting the customers to really engage with the brand at a very contextual level, so for example in the storefront. Here's another example where inanimate objects actually open doorways to the great outdoors right in the heart of New York City.
This is not just a poster. It's a doorway, it's an escape, it's an invitation from REI to all of New York to find out how the great outdoors are closer than you've ever imagined. To celebrate the opening of the new REI store in Soho, we created a mobile app that lets you scan our posters to open up virtual landscapes. Once you're inside each scene, you can move your phone left or right, up or down to explore. You can learn more about outdoor opportunities in and around New York. Get info about the REI Soho grand opening, and even enter for a chance to win great pieces of outdoor gear. And you can even enter for a chance to win the grand prize, an REI trip for 2 to Costa Rica. For REI, the Soho grand opening isn't just about opening the doors to some new locations. It's about opening the outdoors to an entire city. REI. Find out.
Sensor display. Yes. Another area where we're seeing retail sort of shifting its digital online offline connection is actually the in-store sensor displays. This is an example from Cisco that they actually dropped it as a concept, I think, 2009, and then in 2010, and then in the past year they've been implementing it in a number of fashion boutiques in Milan.
This is the hottest for the season.
Okay. No.
It's a little too busy.
Too purple. Too short. Too hot.
Yeah, that's new.
Okay. I think my mom wore this. This is great. Flip. Where do I sign?
You just did.
So that was Cisco's borderless network. The next example, hope you're hanging with me without the popcorn. The next example is an even more interactive example, not in a storefront, in public spaces. But I think it's another example of what we're talking about with the marketing. This isn't actually something that we practice every day, but it's certainly inspiring the next step.
Never gonna be a professional marathon.
All right, now talking about interactive displays, it's not just about the gestural or the touch, it's also about how we think about mobile and how mobile adds to that experience even more in an even more augmented kind of a way. And it takes it to new heights and creates greater value, but nothing like this example from eBay that they've just launched in New York and San Francisco.
This holiday season, eBay and Toys for Tots create a whole new way of giving. The Give a Toy store lets you donate a toy to a child in need from wherever you are. The initiative kicked off with an interactive storefront in New York and San Francisco that lets you donate a toy using your mobile phone. So how does it work? First, download the eBay mobile app. Then pick your favorite toy and scan its tag. This will take you to the Give a Toy store